MCU. MCU's in a sort of crazy place right now.
That's definitely weird. That definitely weird.
It's all over the place. it's and I kind of want to see Thor. Like I'm going to watch it, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the movies to see it this time. But after, like, I loved Doctor Strange, but now, like, with all the MCU shows on Disney Plus, I don't like. We started out with the multiverse, and the new multiverse baddie is Kang. Kang, I think his name
That's what
is.
it's looking like. I don't know. I'm not convinced, but that's what it's looking like.
Where's this nigga? Like, where's he at? He's been ghost. So yeah, man. What you think, bro?
I think Phase 4 is too obsessed with. It's going the way of comics, where it's turning into the event show. They want every individual movie to be this massive event, and it's like, I don't know, man. I'm not really here for that. Like, Doctor Strange did not feel like a sequel. Spider-Man, it didn't really feel like a sequel either. Like, they're both movies that are flexing their gimmick. The Spider-Man thing, the gimmick was all three Spider-Men that we've seen in our lifetime. You know, all the actors that have played Spider-Man,
Right.
some of the villains. And Doctor Strange's gimmick was the multiversal aspect that, you know, you get, spoiler alert, you get Patrick Stewart to reprise his role as Xavier. You get John Krasinski as kind of a meta nod to the fans who wanted to see him playing Mr. Fantastic. You get Captain Carter from the What If series, and it's just like, but they feel like they're gimmicks first and movies second now.
Yeah.
And when you go over to the shows, I don't know. It feels like they're just treading water. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not exactly sure what Falcon and the Winter Soldier is probably my favorite of the shows so far. But even that, it's like, it didn't seem like in Endgame when Sam is given the shield, it didn't really seem like he was as conflicted about taking it. And then we had to do a whole show, which is about him accepting the position, but it kind of felt like he was already on board. Yeah. And then WandaVision, we got to do 9 episodes of let me get over my past. And it's just like, I mean, look, right, leave it where it is and let's actually move on and start telling, real story. If a lot of Phase 4 just felt like an extended epilogue. That's what I'm looking for. An extended epilogue of the Infinity Saga.
Actually, especially Captain Falcon, that really did feel like an extended, like, epilogue, because it was like it's like both of them trying to pick up, like, without Steve being there, kind of, and like figuring that whole thing out. And he's like, do I want the Captain America thing? Well, no, I'm a black man in America. I can't do this. I can't be Captain America, and that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Which I think they wrapped it up beautifully in the show. Yeah. But yeah, dude, it seemed like it's just an attachment to Endgame, kind of like when all the craziness died out. What was it, like a year or 6 months or whatever after Endgame or something?
And I think it depends on the show, because they're all kind of happening in different places in the timeline.
And that's another thing too. At what point is everything happening and going on? Because WandaVision, I guess, or are they releasing them like WandaVision was first because that's the closest to Endgame, and then like each series is kind of like going further out, because Loki threw everything off to me. Like, I like the show, but it was just like, okay, what is happening? Where is this? You know what I mean? Like, we got the reveal of Kang, and plus, like, he disappeared, bro. Like, where is he? Maybe, I guess he's going to show up in Thor. If he don't show up in Thor, then it's like, okay, what's going on?
Well, that's the thing. Like, they have a lot of people don't realize this, but when you take the Infinity Saga, so much of that was kind of touch and go rather, for, that first tease with Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury at the end of the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
they weren't all like, all right, we know exactly what we're doing. They were kind of trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And they laid the foundation quite beautifully. But when you look back, you can see cracks where you can see clear evidence where it's like they didn't know this was going to be the thing, which is why they did it this way. And that's not a diss. I make that point to say that like now it feels like now that they've had this movement and they're known for the interconnected universe, they're setting so much up so fast, and we don't even know when this is going to play out. Like, it's crazy to me to think about Doctor Strange 2 came out this year. The first movie came out in 2016. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Doctor Strange has been in a Marvel movie every year since then. But his story like if you watch Doctor Strange 1 and you go into Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, you're lost. You're lost. There's no way you know exactly what's going on. And that's kind of ballsy in a way too, right? To like say, okay, we're gonna save number 2 till like we're this part into the next story. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of ballsy,
But
you
that
know.
exhausts the fans is my point. Like, because Baron Mordo didn't show up in any other movie except that. And then he shows up in the sequel, and it's not even like the one that we're familiar with. So I'm saying that like Kang disappeared. You might see him in Thor, or you might not see him till 2030. And then by then, like, he'll show back up into the remember when we set him up half a decade ago? It's like, bro, what have you been doing all this time? I forgot.
Right.
And a lot of people, and the fact that you're introducing your big bad, I'm conflicted about this. You're introducing your big bad or your supposed big bad. That's what they say is supposed to be the case. In a Disney Plus show. I'm just wondering, for the people who follow the movies, are they watching everything? When Kang shows up on the big screen, are they gonna know who this nigga is because you set him up in Loki, which the whole Loki show was kind of unnecessary to begin. If you ask me, it's again extended extended epilogue. We've seen the story of Loki. We've seen his life. We've seen him die honorably. We've seen him sacrifice himself. And then we're going to take all of that, take a Loki that didn't go through any of that and put him through all of that again, just in 6 episodes instead of 6 movies. And I'm like, why?
I kind of feel like that was their opportunity to kind of like handhold some people through the whole multiverse theory, or like to kind of like show and explain like, okay, here's the multiverse, and this is the concept of it, and so this is what we're going to be doing the next 10 years or whatever, you know what I mean, or 5 years or whatever, however long it takes for this to play. It seemed like 10 years because again, like in the last phase, with the Infinity War, you saw Thanos as a stinger or something like at the end of every movie, or he was involved in like every movie. It's like, okay, he's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, yep, that's right, he's coming. We got to deal with him. Kang, though, like it doesn't feel like there's nobody there. It just feels like they're just going, and there's just nothing. We just want to ride now. There's no like ultimate kind of point where everybody's going to meet. It was just assumed. We just assumed that, okay, in 5 years, everybody's going to be in like another 2 movie huge gala that's going to deal with that guy we saw in Loki. You know what I mean? Nothing feels like it's strung together that way, except where they just throw the multiverse in here and there,
Yeah. And I would almost be okay with that if it wasn't for the fact that it feels like they're trying to do both. They're trying to say everything is in service of this larger picture, but the movies feel so completely disconnected. The movies and shows feel so disconnected from each other.
Yeah.
Where you're like, I'll accept if you just want to, because after a decade of everything mattered and everything was connected, I'm cool if you want to go a while with just give us some new characters who are just doing whatever they're doing. I'm fine with that. Everything don't got to be in service of a larger narrative. But when you keep dropping in hints to remind me that, oh, by the way, the multiverse this and Kang that and whatever this, when it doesn't feel that way naturally, it really feels like you're just throwing it in there just to be like, just so you don't forget. I'm not gonna forget, I promise. I'm here. I know how it works by now.
Yeah, because it's like, what did Moon Knight have to do with the multiverse or anything?
Fuck all.
It was just like, okay, it's a cool story and all, but wait, what are we doing again? You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, that's right. We got this whole story. But I mean, if it's going to be, if that, I, or maybe this is we're in the era where they got the Disney Plus app, so they're going to put a bunch of stuff on there, and they're just kind of in this mode where like, yeah, okay, we got all this happening, and then we'll just touch base here and there. You know what I mean? Like when we feel like we should get closer to like the big finale or whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think because the first phase was like how long was that phase? Like
In
four
terms of
years?
years or how many movies?
Like in years. Like
Yeah, about four, because Iron Man came out in '08, and then the Avengers came out in 12.
yeah, 2012. And then the second phase was like four, I think. That was about like because Endgame just came out like 2019. So I mean, and plus what are we? We're 19, 20, 21, 22. We're in year 3 of this next phase. I think we behind schedule.
Yo said behind schedule.
Say, I think we behind, bro. I don't. Does Kevin Feige have the memo? Like, yo, we 3 years in, son. Like, where we at?
If you ask me, I think we're ahead of schedule. I just feel like we're ahead in the wrong way. Like I was looking at the numbers, right? 19 movies made up the Infinity Saga, which happened over 10 years. 11 projects have come out since Endgame in 3 years.
That's a lot.
Yeah, no, for real, bro.
That's a
Like,
lot.
dog, I'm sitting here trying to figure out, like, I feel like you've given me so much and I don't know nothing about what.
Right. Like this wouldn't nothing's connecting really. Nothing is connecting in these movies except for that thing, the MacGuffin. The multiverse is kind of the MacGuffin. He just throw in there like, oh yeah, throw the multiverse in because we got that thing happening. But none of these shows feel like they're connected like that. I mean, WandaVision connects with Doctor Strange like directly. You know what I'm saying? But Captain Falcon, Winter Soldier, not really. Loki, I mean, the multiverse thing, I kind of.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, no, like not at all.
My homies is in the rebuilding season. You know what I mean? Like they going back to the bench. We need a new kicker. Like, yo, come on, man. Come on. Y'all been rebuilding for 3 years. Let's get something going. And it's like they're not all misses. I'm not about to say phase 4 is horrible. Because like I see some of these YouTube videos, and like they're a little extreme. Phase 4 has definitely had moments. But like I'm becoming more critical of the MCU now. Probably because I just feel like I feel like you broke the contract. And I'm not as easy to forgive. Like it used to be, and I feel like it hasn't been going on long enough to talk about what used to be, but here we are. It used to be we are making a whole bunch of movies, and if you want to stay caught up with our movies, or with our story, watch these movies. And if you want a little bit of bonus stuff, just a little extra flavor, watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., check out Agent Carter, watch the Netflix series if you want to, but it's not going to have any bearing on whatever. Now, if you don't watch every second of every single thing, like and it's like that wasn't part of the deal. The TV shows and stuff was supposed to be supplementary material. Now plot happens in the movie plot happens in the show. If you watch Doctor Strange 2 and you didn't see WandaVision, and Wanda is going off about these kids you've never met, when did that happen? I saw Endgame. That's the last time she was in the movies. What happened?
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, sorry, bro. And now you have to be up to date on stuff outside of the MCU. Like if you didn't watch the Spider-Man movies that came out, No Way Home is only gonna mean but so much to you. You know what I mean? Like I can't even understand the MCU by watching all of the MCU at this point. I need more than even the MCU. That's crazy to me.
I'm pretty sure there was some 10-year-old kid watching like the Spider-Man, like, wait, who's that old guy?
Facts,
like, who is he? Where the hell did he come from? Why is it 3 of them? Wait, what's happening? But I don't know, man. I think you could blame that mouse.
Oh,
I
of
think
course.
I think you got to blame that mouse, man. He said, "No, I need this on the app. I need people to buy the app, so put it on the app. I don't care about movies. You can do your movies, but I need something for the app." You know, and yeah, it's stretching it. It's stretching it kind of thin. Even for me, I'm a diehard comic book nerd. You know what I mean? But even me, it's just like, I mean, I'm here for it. I'm not saying I'm not gonna watch nothing, but it's just like, I mean, yeah, what are we doing though, man? Like, does this? I'm here for it, but what's going on, really?
Man, at this point, I blame the mouse for everything. I damn near blame Disney for cancer at this point. Like,